everyone, welcome to my channel. My name's Kenzie. If you don't know me, I'm 23 years old and I live in Alberta, Canada. And today I'm going to be walking you through my payday routine / how I budget my paycheck. Let's just jump right in. I don't want to really waste any time. First, I'm just going to kind of explain my financial situation if you're new here, or just to give context. I currently have no debt. I'm very fortunate. I have a lot of privilege and I definitely recognize that. And I'm also a student. So I'm wrapping up my Bachelor of Arts in Psychology honors. I'm all done my coursework and I just moved back to my hometown and I'm working full-time in social services while completing my honors research study. I'm pretty well done with that, but I don't officially convocate until spring. I would say I'm not super high income, but I definitely have worked hard to find at least moderate paying jobs. And again, this is a privilege. I know that's not accessible for everyone. Yeah, I don't have the highest income, but I think for my age and situation, I'm doing really well. But I think in the grand scheme of things, definitely lower income. I am currently not paying rent. So that is because, as I said, I just moved back to my hometown. So I have been paying rent in the city where my university was for the past few years. July was my last rent payment. So I did pay that this month, but I have no more going forward for the foreseeable future. So again, very lucky for that my parents are allowing me to live here for a little bit while I'm kind of wrapping up school. In terms of my financial goals, I really want to invest as much as possible while I am still young, but I also am at a point in my life where I do have big purchases ahead of me. Again, I'm 23 and I need to save for those purchases. So my main things I'm saving for are my emergency fund, a vehicle. I'm hoping to buy a vehicle next year and I don't want to take on a car payment, so I'm hoping to purchase it cash. I have to pay for the upcoming year of tuition and then grad school in the future. I want to do grad school to become a therapist, so have to budget for that accordingly. I would like to buy a new dirt bike within the next year. I don't know. Obviously, that is not high on the priority list, but it is something I really want. I currently have a Kawasaki 110 and I want a 230R. So I just have a really tiny bike right now. I've had it since I was like 12. Like, it's really tiny and I am short. I'm only 5'2", so it does work. Like it's fine, but I would like something bigger. So those are kind of my financial goals and what I'm saving for at this time. I am in a serious long-term relationship, but at this time our finances are totally separate. We don't live together, we're not married. So what I'm showing you today is just single income, just me. I do have multiple jobs and multiple streams of income. And for this channel, I'm not 100% sure just how much I want to share. So today I'm just showing you one paycheck from one of my jobs, just because that's currently what I feel comfortable with. Yeah, that's a little bit of context and my financial situation. So first I'll talk about my accounts. So I have my regular checking account. I'm with RBC, so Royal Bank of Canada. My checking account, I honestly keep almost nothing in there. So this is kind of where my money gets sent to. So I get paid from all my jobs and everything in my checking account, and then I send that money to its delegated area to work for me, if that makes sense. And then I have two savings accounts. One is just like a regular savings account that I've had, I think, since I was like 16 or something. I also have a high interest savings account that I opened up within the last few years. So the regular savings account, I just keep one of my sinking funds in. And then my other high interest savings account, I try to keep as much as possible in there. So I have my emergency fund and then all the rest of my sinking funds in the high interest one. I do have a video on my channel about sinking funds, which I will link in the description if you are interested and want to know a bit more about that. I do have two credit cards. They're both Visas and I use my credit cards for everything and I never carry a balance. I actually checked my credit score today because I wanted to know. My credit score is 802. Fun fact. Yes, I use credit cards for everything so I can accumulate points, and then as well it's also more secure and safe in case of like fraud or your card gets stolen or anything. And in terms of investing, I currently have two investing accounts. If you hear my neighbor working, I'm so sorry. This is the only time I have to film this right now, so I apologize. But I do invest in two different accounts. So I have my TFSA, tax-free savings account, and my FHSA, first home savings account. I opened my TFSA when I was 18, and then I opened my FHSA last year. In the past, I prioritized my TFSA, but going forward, I am putting more money into my FHSA just because I do want to buy a home in the future. As I mentioned, I'm living with my parents right now, which I do love, but I would love my own space in the next few years. I am 23, so yeah, that is the plan. Okay, so now that we've kind of covered all that, let's jump into the actual routine. So first things first is I add my paycheck into my budgeting spreadsheet. I will link two of my favorites in the description. There's a more simple one and then there's a more detailed one. I use both because I'm crazy. You don't have to do that. You can pick whichever one you like. So just this pay was $16.15, and this is my last pay of the month. This is all post-tax and deductions. First things first, after I get paid and I enter everything into my spreadsheet, then I pay off my credit cards. For this paycheck, because we're currently working with my 9-to-5 income, I actually paid off my credit cards from my waitressing, bartending pay. So those have already been paid for. So we don't have to worry about that, but that is in my routine. Then I look at my budget and see if there's any bills that need to be paid. So currently all of my monthly bills and expenses are paid for except for my Kindle and checking fees. And those come out automatically. So however much I have allotted for that, I'm just gonna leave in my checking account, and then it'll get taken out of my checking account and get charged to my credit card. Next, I look at my savings. So I already put money away this month for my emergency fund. I like to get that out of the way first for the month. So if anything comes up, I've already saved for that. That's the most important thing. So I'm going to put money away for my tattoo fund this pay. I have a tattoo appointment very soon, and I know I want more in the future. So I'm just putting extra there, just so it's ready for when I get it. That is the only savings goal that I'm contributing to with this paycheck. And again, remember, this is only one paycheck from one of my streams of income. So you're not getting necessarily the full picture just because, again, I'm not sure how much I want to share. So I put an extra $200 there. Now I'm going to take a look at my sinking funds. So for July, I am contributing $1,145 to all of my sinking funds in total, and $1,000 of that is going towards tuition and grad school. That is my current priority, so I'm not putting as much to the other ones in the meantime. So yeah, 1,000 of the 1,145 goes to tuition and grad school, and then the rest is dispersed between therapy, beauty appointments, Christmas gifts, vehicle maintenance, and fun money. After I decided in my spreadsheet how much is going where, I do the actual transfers in my banking app. So I take all that money from my checking and I put it to my two savings accounts, and I make sure that it matches up with my spreadsheet and how much I decided I wanted to contribute. And then I also use the Financial app. I just use the goal and sinking fund tracker. That part's free. I think you have to pay for the budget part, but I just use the trackers, and it's really cool. You can put an image and you get a progress bar. So I update my total amount saved in each of my sinking fund and savings categories. I make sure that that total lines up with however much I have in my savings accounts. Then next I'm going to look at my investments. So I've already invested this month however much I had planned to invest. That alongside my emergency fund are my priorities. So I like to get that out of the way kind of first in the month. But my income was more than I had budgeted for this month due to my waitressing job. A lot of that income is tips, and I budget on the low end of the range just to be safe. So I made a lot more in that way. So I'm going to transfer extra to my first home savings account. So I update that in my spreadsheet, and then I make the actual transfer in my banking app. And then I essentially just make sure I have money for the rest of the month in terms of extra spending. So I still have gas and groceries to pay for in the month. I'm over on groceries. I'll talk about all of this in my August monthly reset. You'll get to see everything there. Gas, I'm doing really well on. I'm close to my total amount of extra spending, but I'm not there yet, and I think it'll be okay. So yeah, like I mentioned, I was a little bit over on groceries, so that's another reason I like to budget on the lower end for my income, because it gives me wiggle room. So now that I have my actual income, even though I'm over my budgeted amount, I am still okay. I'm not over it all. So I actually have lots of wiggle room still, so that is kind of the benefit of that. So yeah, that was my payday routine, how I budget my paycheck. I love watching these videos, and this is something I could definitely see myself kind of doing more often, budget my paycheck with me. I think they're really fun. Again, I'm just not sure how much of my personal income details I want to share at this time, but I'm comfortable with this right now, my 9 to 5 post-tax paychecks kind of thing. If you enjoyed this video, let me know. If you'd want more, definitely let me know. Does your payday routine look similar? Does it look different in ways? I'd love to chat about it with you in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Have a great day. Bye.